Good afternoon, thanks for joining us. Today we're at Westminster Secondary School. Back in the late 1980s, you might have seen Johnny Depp roaming these halls while filming his hit TV series, 21 Jump Street. However, plans for the development of a new facility unearthed a long-kept secret that this school was built on top of a historic burial ground. The land that I'm standing on right now was once designated as the Davidson Cemetery, or also known as the Old Westminster Cemetery.
In the late 1800s, this site was used as a pioneer cemetery and became a potter's field, the final resting place for prisoners, the poor, and mentally ill patients. Sections of the grounds were portioned off for different denominations, but because the ground at this site was swampy, the white population began to move its burials over to the newer Fraser Cemetery. But this cemetery continued to be used by people of color and other marginalized groups, including the Chinese, Japanese, Indo-Canadians, and Indigenous peoples. By 1907, the cemetery was found to be full, and in 1914, the site was permanently closed down by the city, although they didn't spend the money that was needed to properly decommission it. The human remains stayed in the ground while the land became overgrown, and all of the gravestones were removed except those of the early white pioneers. In 1948, the city came to an agreement with the school district to use the site for construction of a new secondary school, building right over top of the cemetery. It was reported that truckloads of bones were removed in the darker hours of the night. And it was also reported that during construction of the Massey Junior High School in 1949, builders unearthed at least one of the coffins buried on site. Despite these ghastly discoveries, construction of the school continued, with the Pearson wing of the high school, which runs from 10th Avenue to Dublin Street, being built right over the cemetery grounds. Given the history of the school, it's natural that stories of ghosts and hauntings would arise. The book Haunted Canada tells the story of several shocking deaths and the subsequent hauntings that occurred at the school. In one tale, a male student drowned in the early 1970s in a pool located in the school's basement. It's said that after the event occurred, security guards regularly saw a boy floating face down in the water during their nightly rounds, but when they went to get help, the boy would disappear. Guards also reported paranormal activity in the archery range that was located in the basement. It's said that a man has been seen firing phantom bow and arrows, only to disappear if anyone got too close. It's also said that a male student died in the woodworking shop in the 1980s, and his spirit lives on. Although no one has come face to face with this spirit, he's been seen on the security camera monitors by the night guards. There's been an ongoing debate over whether these events actually happened. In fact, research and eyewitness accounts fail to prove that a pool even existed. The so-called archery range turned out to be a gun range, leading to a lack of credibility for that account. And a search of newspaper archives has failed to turn up any reference to the woodworking incident that supposedly happened in the 1980s. However, it's possible that all of the ghostly sightings at Westminster Secondary School over the years can be attributed to the bones that lie beneath the building's foundation. In the early 2000s, planning for construction of a new school resurfaced the history of the site. The government of British Columbia and the Westminster School District have made a commitment to protect and preserve the historical significance of the site and ensure that no further construction will take place on any known burial grounds. And a portion of the Westminster Secondary School grounds has been officially designated as a cemetery, falling under the Heritage Conservation Act. After years of careful planning, the new secondary school facility is finally open. Plans remain in progress for the memorialization of the cemetery sites and its development as a park following deconstruction of the existing school. However, until that happens, the old school remains vacant, filled with nothing but the echoes of school children and perhaps the occasional restless spirit.
Thanks for joining us today to learn about the interesting history of this location. Remember to hit subscribe so you can stay up to date on all our latest adventures, and check out our interactive map to see the other cool places that we've been to and explored. Until next time, it's time to exit through the gift shop.